Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. This week has been a really busy week for me, so I have had so many things to do. I haven't really had a chance to sort of sit down and concentrate too much on all of my works in progress that I have, all the different projects that I have. But I have sat down most evenings for at least an hour or so, and I've been able to do a little bit more of this dimensions project, which I've been working on for, say, a couple of months now. So I think for that period of time, it's not going too badly. In my last video, I remember that I had just about managed to finish these two ladies here and maybe a little bit of the backstitch. And I'd also got into a bit of a mess with some of the colours, so there was some of it that I had to unpick and redo again. But overall, it's coming along quite nicely. What's actually new this week is this guy and part of this lady here, and I absolutely love these blues that are coming out in her cloak. It looks so cool, and I haven't really done a lot of backstitch before, and I found it's not too bad, but I find that it's more difficult to do at night time, and I don't really know why. I don't have poor lighting, but I just find it difficult sometimes to see the backstitch, say for instance over the darker colours. Now I know that it actually does make a difference when you backstitch around black cross stitches, but you know, for a while you're looking at it and you're not actually sure if you've done it or not until you try and sort of touch one of the back stitches to see if it's actually there. So yeah, it can be a little bit awkward like that, but I think once you've actually done it, you can see the difference that it's made. Now up here as well, there's like a darker grey that goes around these lights, and I thought, well, that's not really going to be seen, but when you look at it from a distance you can actually appreciate it. So yeah, if you find that the backstitch isn't making much difference, then try to look at it from a little bit of a distance and you can see that it actually does make a difference overall. What I love about these patterns is that they're pretty good at differentiating between foreground and background and what it is they actually want to focus on. Now, there's a lot of cross-stitch projects which the focus is over the entire page, and they're so busy with so many details that your eye doesn't know where to draw itself to. But what I like about this is that it's clearly this couple here who are in the foreground. As you can see, their forms are bigger than everybody else's, and they're right at the front of the picture, and the further back we go, the less backstitching there is. For instance, you're only supposed to get a vague idea that there's people walking along behind here. So your eye shouldn't be drawn to this. When you first look at a picture like this, this is what's going to stand out, and that's probably why she's got a red dress, because red is a stronger colour. And then you start seeing all the other little details. So yeah, they're pretty good. They've actually put a lot of thought into this, and you can tell that when the design is thoughtful, it makes more sense, and you can see exactly what you're supposed to be looking at rather than looking around the whole page and not really knowing. So it's really well done. I didn't get into any difficulties really. I found the faces a little bit awkward, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get on when I do the French knots. That might be a totally different ball game for me. I think I might have to watch a few videos, and if you have any recommendations, let me know. But I'm not that good with the French knots, so I'm going to have to practice a bit. I'm not entirely sure I want to put French knots around the entire scene so that it looks like it's snowing. I'm going to have to think about that one, because I think I'm probably going to go crazy, and I might just end up throwing it in the bin if I have to do 1000 French knots. But also because I'm wondering if it's necessary. I mean, it's a beautiful picture. Does do the French knots and the snow add so much? I don't know. They might do. I just need to sort of decide when I get to that point. But obviously the whole thing has to be done first before I get to be doing any French knots. So yeah, it's really coming along nicely, and I managed to get some of the bottom of the picture finished here, and there's a lot of half stitches. Thank goodness there's no fractionals, because fractionals can be I find fractionals quite difficult to count. If I've done a fractional stitch, like a quarter stitch in place of an X, when I'm counting around it, I might forget that that is a whole stitch, even though I've only done a quarter of it. And so it might just mess up my counting methods. But there isn't any fractionals in this particular design, so if you are thinking about doing it, it's great. So the nice thing also about dimensions is they're really good at using different strands to create different blends, and that's really lovely. Like for instance, around her coat here, there's 2 strands of 2 different colors, so you get a nice mixed blend of browns here rather than just one solid color. And I think I love this part here where all the lights are showing and it looks really busy, and just the whole thing really appeals to me. And you know, when you see something and you just think, sometimes I don't even know why something appeals to me, it just does. And you can't really find the words to explain it, but it just looks really good. So that's my update of this week. And I don't know if I'm going to be continuing with this one in the next couple of days. I might go back to working on my Heaven and Earth design, which again, I really want to get finished, and I keep saying this, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting this one finished also. But I'm not going to hurry and I'm not going to rush it, because if you start rushing it, you make more mistakes and then you end up in a worse situation than if you hadn't picked it up at all. So I think the idea is just to go with the flow and do the one that you like to do and not put any pressure on yourself, but also don't try and get it done really as quickly as you can. How have you been going this week with your stitching? Have you started something new? Are you finishing something off? Have you lost the stitching bug? I really don't think that'll happen to me, but touch wood, I hope it doesn't, because I have so many things to stitch. I'd probably cry if I decided I didn't want to do it at all. So let me know how you're getting on with your stuff. I'd be interested to find out. And I'll see you soon for another update. Take care.